that's what's making me speak up, because I'm recognizing that as parents, there is no way, no one's protecting us. No one's protecting our children. I mean, I get that our teachers and our staff, the staff, and would want to, but they can only do so much under leadership, right? I mean, and then there's no avenues. Everything you decide, these parents had to decide, from what I can tell, they took it to the administration. Nothing was done for 3 weeks. They had to take it upon themselves to give the information out to other parents who they felt like didn't know about the incident. And then that's a hard line to take. You're forced to choose. Do I just sit back and not do anything and let it be and just take the administrator's lead in all of this when I feel like it's really wrong and I wouldn't want that done to me? Or do I go over the administrator or go to the media? And it's not fair to have to be put in that awkward situation. It's really uncomfortable, and nobody wants to do that.
Do you know what the morale or mood is at the school level? Aside from the parents, you can tell that the parents are very concerned and want some answers. What does it feel like?
Well, the sad thing is the 6th grade teachers weren't even told this happened. They weren't aware of it until we were, when it hit the news. So one counselor shares this information with the kids, and the rest of the school doesn't know about it unless the kids say something. I mean, even the administration didn't tell the rest of the staff, from what we know.
So it kind of sounds like maybe that made it really hard for them to be prepared for any repercussions of what might have taken place that day when the information was taught. How do you handle information like that at the school level with the different grades, and when people bring it up, how do you deal with that?
Right.
And that's really hard to do. So as parents, and I have a 5th grader and a 9th grader, and it's so interesting because for the most part you're going to be somewhat happy with education. You have that relationship with your child and what they do at the school. What have you discovered in this whole, generally speaking, what have you discovered within our school system that you would want to see improved?
Well, I've discovered that there is a policy that needs to be followed. If there's controversial information that potentially may be controversial, teachers are supposed to take it to the principal and share it with the principal, and she is to decide whether the parents get a letter for permission or not, for their child to be involved. And that was not done at all. So we should have been notified. We should have been asked if we want our child in this kind of a class, first of all. And then if a teacher is acting alone and doesn't get the principal's go ahead or approval, then what is in place to notify parents immediately? I mean, we get notified immediately if our child's lunch money is behind by 40 cents or $1. We get a call that day from the office immediately saying, hey, you need to put some money in your kid's lunch card. But in an incident this huge, we don't get a phone call to let us know that, hey, something may have been shared with your child. We're really sorry. Please talk to your kid and see if there's anything you can do to help them. I mean, now after all of this, they're offering counseling. There's a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a couple other counselors. I'm like, but I am my child's best counselor. I want to help my own child. I need to know what was taught so that I can help my child in the appropriate manner and in a timely manner, right at it as it happened. This is ridiculous that we don't find out till December 2nd of something that happened on November 10th. And many parents didn't find out. I mean, not all the kids felt comfortable just saying, hey, Mom, our teacher talked about rape today. Kids aren't going to do that. Well, some are. Thank goodness some do. But some don't.
That's right.
And they just are quiet. And we've heard from other parents that they're actually having physical asthma attacks. And there's a lot of psychological issues going on with kids that are really challenged with this whole information that was shared with them.
And so, Allison, you've been a part of the different meetings and everything like that. What was it that you gleaned from, how can we improve as a system?
Yeah, I've probably been to every single SCC meeting since the school year began, trying to get involved and trying to get to know the school. And, you know, I always thought coming in, of course, as a new parent, the SCCs are supposed to be a place where everyone gets to have some sort of say and help guide the direction of the school, but it's clear to me that that is not the case. I mean, in theory, not in practice, it definitely is not. It's clear that, you know, I think to some degree, I mean, no, not even to some degree, the principal gets the last say. The administrator gets the last say in what the why or what. I mean, I've been at meetings where she doesn't even let the vote occur because she's taking a stand on an issue.
Okay.
You know, I've also come to realize that when it comes to a vote, I mean, the parents have 2 people sitting on there, and then there's 2 teachers, a staff, a community person, and the administrator. So I don't know what that vote would look like anyway, right? I mean, even if parents really had the 2 votes on that console, I would imagine that staff have to vote along with their boss. I mean, otherwise it would be terrible to work in that situation if you're voting against what your boss wants. So I think that can be changed. I'd like to see some of that changed. You know, I know that the lack of accountability is a problem. I'd like to see that changed. I mean, there needs to be policies in place that not only protect the teachers, the staff, the administrators, but protect our students. Because in this case, what bothered me was that when it came to picking between protecting your staff and protecting the kids, it doesn't seem like anyone was protecting our children.
Yeah.
Got it.
This person was still on campus for 3 weeks after the incident. You know, she was not removed until the 28th, I believe, Monday.
And so, okay, so where are you right now? What is it that's going on? You know, what is it that's going on right now? What are the next steps for the school, and what, you know, we've got a couple ideas that we can kind of move forward with in regards to maybe BOE and policy or state legislature and laws, just with, you know, parental, you know, control issues and stuff like that. And almost at a point, you're kind of even talking about major reform things, you know, because when you're talking about everyone in the group basically is protected, but as a parent, you feel that the child is not protected. Then there's all kinds of stuff that you have to say, okay, well, why is that? And question the situation right now. What are some of the things, like when you did ask for information, what kind of responses did you get?
Well, at the meetings, all we were told was it's under investigation. There's no detailed information they can give us as to what actually occurred.
At the meeting too, at the last meeting, the administrator's boss was there, and every time a question was posed, I mean, you know, she would say, you can't answer that. If it was posed to the teachers or to the administrator or to the counselors or whoever, they were told, you can't answer that. And you know, parents were upset. Parents were upset because they were here to ask questions and have a dialogue and a conversation. It was clear that there was not going to be any conversation or dialogue regarding this incident.
None of our questions were answered.
Wow, that's really frustrating.
Very
frustrating for parents that
That's
you
why we're
really
here.
don't see. That you really don't see a way to improve the situation or get more information or deal with the situation. That's a very
Or
frustrating.
even
thing
know
to
how
deal
long
with.
the investigation will take. We don't
They
have
couldn't
any
give us
idea.
any timelines. You know, parents asked for, I think, 4 things, and I don't know that any of one of those 4 things have been addressed yet.